Pocket FM.
To unlock all the episodes, click the link in bio.
This stepmother left this helpless infant alone in a crowded railway station where thousands passed, but no one stopped. By pure luck, a cotton farmer spotted the crying baby in the chaos. She pushed through the crowd, picked up the child, and never let go. She raised her alongside her own children. But when the woman discovered the truth that the baby was a princess, she was forced to return her to the palace. Her arrival shocked the entire royal family, who hated her very existence. As Alessandra grew up, their hate only worsened. She was treated not as a princess, but as a servant in her own home. Invisible, unwanted, and always reminded that she didn't belong. All to ensure her stepsister Kate remained the sole heir to their wealth. By 14, Alessandra slept on a cold floor, ate whatever scraps Kate left behind, and hadn't heard her own name spoken kindly in years. One evening, while alone in the kitchen, she saw her chance to escape. But in her rush, she knocked over an oil lamp, and the flames took everything. Alessandra survived, but her face was scarred forever. When her family found her, they didn't comfort her. They locked her away in her bedroom, covered her face with a mask, and let the world forget she ever existed. Then, on her 19th birthday, her father did the unthinkable. He decided to marry her off to an old man to pay off his debts.
Oh God, please, don't let that pervert become my husband.
Alessandra had to marry the man her father, Desmond Barrett, had chosen for her at his party tonight. She wouldn't be a wife. She would be a prisoner. Meanwhile, Alessandra's stepsister, Kate, would be getting marriage proposals from dozens of men at the party.
Who would want to marry an ugly girl in a mask?
Perhaps you could make an offer to someone else.
Shut up! You will marry the old man I chose for you, you ungrateful wretch.
Alessandra's cries had no effect on her cruel father. He promised Alessandra to the infamous William Lancaster, a womanizer known for collecting women like objects at the party.
Are you ready?
William inched his face closer to Alessandra's.
What are you going to do to me?
I want you to be my wife.
She tried to run, but William grabbed her.
You must ask to leave my presence.
Before William could make a move, Alessandra bit his hand.
You ugly!
Alessandra ran for her life. That's when she saw the most powerful man in the kingdom, Duke Edgar Collins, a man even her father feared. In fact, her father wanted her stepsister Kate to marry the Duke to settle his debts. Desperate for help, she asked him the most impossible question.
Duke Edgar, I think we should be married.
Married?
Edgar choked on the cigar smoke.
But I'm not looking for a wife.
Please, Duke Edgar, we can draw up a contract.
Alessandra knew the king wanted Duke Edgar to get married. A loveless contract marriage could be useful for him, as Duke Edgar was least interested in love proposals from women like Kate.
It isn't hard for me to find an actress to play the role of my wife.
If it was so easy, you would have done so already. If the king has done this to toy with you, choosing a wife like me will surely drive him crazy.
You're much quicker on your feet than I expected. The rumors about your timidity and reclusive nature are clearly false.
And you are said to be a monster. But you seem human to me. I do what I must to survive. If my terms are not agreeable, I shall leave you be.
Meet me at my residence tomorrow. We will discuss this further, and then I will give you my answer.
You know William Lancaster will marry me at the end of the week. I will be nothing but his shadow, forgotten. My father won't let me out of the house for fear I will run.
Then consider it a test. I want to see how serious you are. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'd like to retire for the evening. I bid you good evening, Miss Alessandra Barrett. Hopefully, we shall see each other soon.
We shall see each other tomorrow,
she whispered to herself.
Duke Edgar? Who are you speaking to?
Kate Barrett, the younger daughter of the Baron, stepped outside. She heard the Duke was all alone and thought to give him some company. Seeing him wrap up a conversation with her half-sister made her blood boil.
I hope she did not offend you, Duke Edgar. She's not supposed to be out here.
She has not offended me, unlike your father.
Thank goodness.
Forgive me, but isn't Alessandra your older sibling? Shouldn't you be referring to her as your sister? Or at the very least, her name?
Edgar could sense the animosity Kate had for her sister right away. Seeing the Duke speaking to her sister, Alessandra used this chance to run away before any of them would ask her to speak. She wished Kate would have stayed inside rather than come out. Now that Kate knew she had spoken to the Duke, all hell would break loose tomorrow.
You are correct, Duke Edgar, of course. I love my older sister. But as you can see, she is extremely shy. That is why I was concerned she might have offended you.
Kate didn't want to ruin her chances of marrying Edgar and knew she had to say all the right things to get on his good side.
You know, Duke, I was hoping for some alone time between the two of us. A man of your position and a woman of my beauty could make a powerful union. Don't you agree?
Is there some misconception that I am looking for a wife who can only please me in...
Oh, I'm sorry.
Understand this, Kate.
Edgar said, swatting her hand away.
As hard as it might be for you to believe, not all men are so gullible to the fluttering of your eyelashes. Besides, I've received another, more promising offer.
Edgar turned and went back into the house, leaving Kate utterly humiliated. Meanwhile, Alessandra rushed to the kitchen to meet her only friend, Mario.
Why are you here? You want to get us both in trouble? So, what's the tea?
Mario, I need a favor. Well, two, if I'm being honest. See, I am not close to the coachman, but you are. Could you speak to him about taking me somewhere tomorrow without letting my family know about it? I would do it myself, but he might be scared of me and run away before I could speak.
That won't be a problem. I won't blame you if you ran away from this place.
Then, Alessandra went back to her room. As she approached, she was greeted by a faint sound from the other side of the door.
Kitty!
But before she could close the door behind her, a large boot blocked her. She looked up to see William Lancaster, red-faced and furious.
Leave me alone!
You are mine now, Alessandra.
Alessandra kicked and punched at him, trying to get him out of her doorway.
I'm not yours until the end of the week, and if Father finds out you took me without payment, he'll tell the king.
William smiled and put his hands up, pretending to be frightened.
Very well, Alessandra. In just 3 days, you will serve all my needs, even if it kills you.
Alessandra slammed the door and sucked to the floor, breathing heavily, panicking.
No, this will not be my future. The Duke will be my escape.
Before she knew it, the next morning arrived.
My lady, your breakfast,
Said a voice outside her door, followed by 3 knocks. Alessandra tossed in her bed.
How on earth is it morning already? I was just eating dinner.
She grumbled, stretching as she woke up. Alessandra stared at the ceiling when she opened her eyes. Today was the day for her life to possibly change.
My lady? Kate's here.
Alessandra realized. Normally the maid would just knock and leave quickly. This person was practically begging her to come to the door, which meant they wanted something. Kate's curiosity about what Alessandra spoke about with the Duke must have been bothering her all night long. Alessandra was tempted to make her half-sister wait longer, but today was not the day to piss off Kate. She needed to pretend like everything was normal. "I'm coming," she called back to let her know she heard them. Alessandra took the sleeping kitten beside her and hid it in the closet. She closed the door and then went to her desk to put on the mask she had worn last night.
My lady? Try to make it less obvious you are being pressured.
Alessandra thought once she heard the maid stutter. With the mask tied, Alessandra approached her door and unlocked it.
your breakfast,
The maid said with her head down. Alessandra looked down at her breakfast, which wasn't in the maid's hands but placed on the floor.
Thank you.
She went down to pick it up herself, but as her hands neared the floor, a shoe appeared from the left to pin down her left hand.
Good morning, sister.
Kate appeared from the sidelines just like Alessandra predicted. Alessandra winced from the pain of Kate's shoes on her knuckles.
Run along.
Kate ordered the maid. She was highly annoyed that she had to wait outside of Alessandra's bedroom for so long. If only she had the spare key her father took away.
Did you have fun last night, Alessandra?
Yes.
Yes?
Kate became furious with how bold Alessandra was.
Just because you ran into the Duke, you think you had fun?
Not that. I had fun in my room last night. The music reached my room.
Is that so? Tell me, what did you discuss with the Duke last night?
She was desperate to confirm with her own ears that nothing serious had happened between the Duke and Alessandra.
I did not notice he was standing there as I was going to collect my dinner. He called out my name as I forgot to address someone as important as the Duke. He scolded me, and then you arrived. That is all.
Kate pressed her shoe against the back of Alessandra's hand, harder, not fully believing the story.
What else?
He spoke about getting married and you as an option. Nothing more, I swear.
Alessandra cried out from the pain. Kate lifted her foot. It made more sense Edgar would speak about her, but why on earth was he playing so hard to get last night when the two of them walked back into the party?
Of course, he would speak about me. Why else would he talk to the freak?
Alessandra rolled her eyes as Kate continued.
Still, it angers me that you showed your disgusting face to the Duke. What if you were to believe he is cursed and takes his anger out on us? What will you do then? Do you think you'll be safe?
Kate pushed her shoe against Alessandra's hand again.
No.
Alessandra whimpered.
Then stay in your bedroom.
Kate!
Desmond exclaimed upon seeing his youngest daughter hurting his oldest.
Stop it right this instant.
But father, she...
Kate trailed off, realizing there was no use in denying what he clearly saw.
The Duke saw her last night and they spoke.
Desmond looked surprised, as the Duke hadn't mentioned running into his eldest daughter before saying goodbye.
Never mind that, Kate. Let her go at once.
Kate removed her foot from Alessandra's hand and then stomped on the floor like a toddler.
Remember your place, freak.
She hissed to Alessandra before storming off. Alessandra's hand trembled in pain, but she felt relieved Kate was gone. Even with the injury, Alessandra took up the tray of food to take back into her room.
Alessandra,
The Baron inched closer to his daughter.
tell me what happened last night. Did you sabotage Kate's marriage prospects with the Duke?
No food came last night, and I was hungry. The garden is off limits, so I thought I could run by quickly. That is all.
A scowl appeared on Desmond's face. Many people believed the rumor about Alessandra cursing someone and making them die all because of a coincidence.
What did you talk about?
He demanded an answer. Alessandra kept her head down low and said,
He only wanted to make sure he could smoke there and talked about Kate as a marriage candidate.
Really?
Desmond's eyes lit up at this. He was worried Kate had not seduced the Duke last night, but now it seemed she had an effect on Edgar after all.
That man is so strange. He probably wants to observe her a little longer. This is good.
Edgar was someone Desmond needed to help him crawl out of the debt he buried himself in. It wasn't easy to live as grand as he used to with his finances decreasing over the years. Kate finding a rich husband was their only hope.
Still, you should not have gone out. What if I had changed my mind and taken a few people out there?
So I should starve?
Alessandra thought.
I am sorry, Father.
Fine, fine. There's absolutely no point in scolding you. You will be William Lancaster's property at the end of the week. You're his problem now.
Alessandra shuddered with terror as she imagined the horror waiting for her at Lancaster's castle. Desmond was worried, but since Edgar mentioned nothing, he assumed it meant that Alessandra had not offended him.
You must be bored in your room all the time. Let me get you some entertainment before you go off to your new life with Sir William. Name anything and I shall fetch it right away.
Since you asked, I have run out of things to paint. I wish to paint the town. Can I ride around in the carriage to see places to paint? I won't get out. I promise.
Desmond placed his hand on his hip as this wasn't something Katrina would agree with. However, if they kept Alessandra locked away, she would try to leave her bedroom more. It was best to give her a little bit of freedom. After what Kate just did, he had to do something to make it up to her.
Promise me you won't leave the carriage.
I promise.
Alessandra grinned. Back at his estate, Edgar was enjoying a much better morning than Alessandra.
Young master, I have brought your breakfast.
The butler, Alfred said as he entered Edgar's study with a tray. He found it odd Edgar was not seated at his desk as he normally would. Instead, Edgar was peering out his window, which had a clear view of the entrance of his home. Alfred placed the tray down on the desk and straightened it out before turning around to see if there was anything else Edgar would need. Unfortunately, it did not seem like Edgar realized he was even there.
Young master.
Alfred called out again.
Good morning, Alfred.
Edgar looked away from the window to Alfred standing behind him.
Thank you for breakfast.
Are you expecting guests? Should I prepare breakfast for them or have drinks prepared?
Alfred figured that was the reason Edgar was staring out the window. The only person Edgar did this for was his mother, but it wasn't due to him being excited about her visit. Instead, Edgar did this to see who was tagging along with his mother so he would know to abruptly leave home.
I am honestly not sure. I gave her the invitation, but it is not certain she will arrive, unless she is truly desperate.
Edgar went back to looking out his window. He was curious to see if Alessandra really would visit him. She was never seen out in public, so her coming all the way here to make a marriage contract with him was intriguing.
A woman? Visiting? In broad daylight?
Alfred was utterly surprised. Edgar frowned, turning to look at Alfred once again.
That I am some kind of scoundrel?
Yes.
Alfred bowed. Edgar couldn't believe Alfred had answered honestly. Had it been anyone else, Edgar would have fired them. But Alfred was a longtime friend and father figure.
I am not. Please refrain from saying such a thing if the guest is to arrive. She might become the lady of this house.
What?
Alfred had to hold on to the desk to stop himself from falling. Edgar stared unamused at Alfred's dramatic reaction.
Why are you acting like it's such a surprise I would get a wife?
After a brief moment, Alfred recollected himself since he needed to get the truth.
Your exact words when the king suggested you marry were, I am never getting married. I would rather jump from the roof and die. Maybe I misinterpreted those words. I apologize.
Alfred, I sincerely believe I inherited my dramatic nature from you. I am not interested in marriage, but the woman I met last night was intriguing. A perfect way to the king and ward off some people from around me.
I do not understand.
How would the lady coming the king and ward off others?
It will be self-explanatory if she arrives today. If a Barrett comes to visit me, let them in, not the father.
Edgar added, since he could not stand the man.
Barrett, is it Kate?
She wasn't what Alfred had in mind to be Edgar's wife, nor did he see how intriguing she was.
Did you drink at the party last night, Edgar?
No, I only had a quick smoke break.
Leaving the window to see what Alfred brought him for breakfast.
Smoke. Excuse me, I shall check all your cigars.
Alfred bowed, ready to leave the room to check Edgar's supply.
What the for?
Edgar looked to Alfred for an explanation.
If you find Kate Barrett to be intriguing...
Are you crazy?
Edgar stopped Alfred in his tracks.
The Baron has another daughter. Alessandra Barrett is the older one.
Thank goodness.
Alfred held his chest and sighed.
You are aware of the rumors concerning her, right?
Edgar believed Alfred shouldn't be so relieved yet.
Anyone is better than Kate in my book. If that younger girl were to become your wife, I would finally retire after 40 years. We are not so sure Alessandra will even arrive. When was the last time you...
A knock at the door interrupted Alfred. He opened the door to find a maid with a terrified expression hand him a paper before going back to her duty. Alfred closed the door as he read the paper.
It appears we are in for a surprise. Alessandra Barrett is here and wishes to have an audience with you.
Edgar was pleasantly surprised to hear she had arrived already, or even that she had come at all.
Invite her to my study.
Yes, young master.
Alfred bowed, then proceeded to do as he was told.
Stop bowing so much, Alfred. You are not a priest.
Edgar said as Alfred left the room.
Alessandra Barrett. What an interesting person you are.
Edgar wanted to judge if the Baron truly had nothing to do with Alessandra wanting to get married. Their meeting wouldn't have been that coincidental, as he told the Baron he was going out to smoke, and then Alessandra magically appeared. The only thing making Edgar believe this might be a coincidence was the Baron not sending his younger daughter. Meanwhile, Alessandra exited the carriage her father gave for her to ride around for the day. Luckily, Mario had spoken to the coachman, and nothing about this visit was to be mentioned to her father. If the coachman showed any signs of betraying what he promised, Alessandra didn't mind playing into the rumors about herself to threaten the man.
This is huge.
Alessandra commented as she looked around the entrance of the Duke's estate. It was no wonder why he was the biggest catch to get married to. The man was filthy rich.
Good morning,
she said as armored men walked past her.
Good morning!
They replied in unison. Alessandra was surprised they had not flinched when they looked at her mask.
At least the guards here are not afraid of stupid rumors,
she thought. Moments later, the large doors of Edgar's home opened up, revealing a man in butler clothes.
Welcome, Alessandra Barrett. The Duke is expecting you.
Alfred greeted the young woman. He did not react to her mask and made sure not to stare at it since the action would be rude. He made a mental note to tell the other workers to do the same.
Good morning. It's nice to meet you,
Alessandra said as she approached Alfred. She held out her hand to properly greet the man when she stood in front of him. Alfred shook her hand happily. It was rare for many of Edgar's guests to greet him like this, but Alessandra did it without a second thought.
Come, I shall lead the way.
Alessandra felt unable to breathe when she entered the Duke's home for the first time. The Duke appeared to be a collector of many paintings Alessandra wished she could get her hands on.
I'm sorry. I did not get your name,
Alessandra said after she noticed she had not asked for the butler's name.
Alfred,
he replied.
Nice to meet you, Alfred.
Alessandra smiled.
He is in here.
Alfred knocked on the door and then opened it for Alessandra to walk in. He did not know how Edgar and Alessandra got to the point of wanting to marry each other, but Alfred was starting to like the young woman.
Thank you,
Alessandra told Alfred before entering the room. She felt her heart skip a beat when the door closed behind her, and Alfred had not come in behind her.
I wasn't expecting you to show up, but if you did, breakfast time was not my guess.
Edgar sat at his desk watching her every move. He began to inspect the type of person Alessandra was.
Why? Are you embarrassed by people seeing me? Should I have snuck in at night like a thief?
Alessandra responded without thinking.
I suppose coming at night would have made my men think you were a criminal. And why would I have invited you to my home if I were embarrassed by you? Take a seat.
Edgar pointed to the free chair on the other side of his desk.
I am extremely curious to know how you were able to leave your father's home when it is said you never leave. Did you play a trick on your father, or did he let you out willingly?
As Alessandra was taking a seat, she digested Edgar's words carefully.
I am not working with my father, if that's what you're trying to find out. In fact, I took a great risk being here today, and you must know that I am extremely serious about this. There is no going back for me.
Does your father hate you?
Edgar bluntly asked. There was no point in beating around the bush when what they were here to discuss was serious. Alessandra thought about it before giving her answer.
I don't think my father hates me. He is ashamed of me. Who would want a daughter with a reputation like mine in a world like this?
It is a parent's job to love their child, no matter what. It's a shame you were born as a baron's daughter. You would have been loved elsewhere.
To Edgar, it was only people with wealth who cared to distance themselves from someone, all because of their reputation.
If I were the daughter of farmers, they would have rightfully cast me aside to sell their crops.
Why would something so drastic happen to a farmer's daughter for her to end up wearing a mask? Whatever you are hiding, it was done because you are a baron's daughter, right? High society is quite competitive.
Edgar was well aware of the things young women do to others they were jealous of. Alessandra was no doubt in the line of someone's jealousy.
Yes.
Alessandra gave up since he was right. It all happened due to her being a baron's daughter.
Someone must have been really jealous of you, Alessandra. Fine. Let's say I believe this is all you're planning, and your father is not involved. Why would someone who has lived a vast majority of their life in hiding want to marry someone who has the spotlight on them?
Truthfully, I didn't plan on asking.
It's true that I like to keep to myself, but there are a few parties I need to attend, whether it is hosted by family, friends, or work-related. Am I to show up without my wife? It would be boring if you hid all the time.
He was not looking to have his wife be a prisoner.
You are misunderstanding something, Duke Edgar. I never hid because I wanted to. I did what I was told to in order to survive. I would love to go out and view the town, attend parties and dance around. I might not have the experience and my confidence might need to increase, but I do not wish to live in the shadows anymore.
She looked right into his eyes as she made this confession. Alessandra did not care to mingle with too many people not important to Edgar. Instead, she wanted to go out and start enjoying her life. Edgar made a humming sound as he contemplated something.
A week ago, I would have never entertained this conversation with you. But I am in the mood to play games.
He placed a piece of paper on his desk.
What is this?
Alessandra asked as she looked at the paper with fancy designs on the edges.
A contract marriage needs to have rules and conditions, right?
Edgar pushed the paper, a pen, and ink toward her.
Let's get started.
Alessandra's eyes widened as she realized he had officially accepted her proposal for them to get married.
Isn't this a little too easy? I expected him to grill me some more,
she thought, but she was also relieved. There was no going back for her.
What are you waiting for?
Edgar asked when she continued to stare at the paper without doing anything.
Sorry.
Alessandra reached for the paper and pen. She gasped when Edgar grabbed her hand before she could touch the paper.
What happened to your hand?
Edgar spotted the bruising around her knuckles. Glancing at her other hand, he saw that it was perfectly fine.
Did you punch something, or did someone hurt you?
It's nothing.
Alessandra pulled her hand out of his grasp.
It is something, seeing that you will be my future wife. I don't take too kindly to someone hurting my people. Name the person and I shall have them punished,
said Edgar. Now that they were going to be husband and wife, her problems became his.
It was an accident, Duke Edgar.
Just Edgar is fine.
Edgar decided to leave the topic for now, but he would get back to it. He didn't like the feeling he got as he thought about the life Alessandra had.
I will try my best. Based on our conversations, no love shall be the first condition,
Alessandra stated as she wrote down the first rule.
How do I know that you won't fall in love with me over time?
Edgar assessed her. Alessandra looked up from the paper to Edgar. He was a handsome man, but that was all. She knew nothing about him. And frankly, if she was not so desperate to leave her father's home...
Trust me, you are not my type, Edgar.
So, there is a type.
Edgar, for some reason, wondered what kind of man moved her heart.
I was hidden away, but I'm not blind. What should the second condition be?
Alessandra asked, so they could move on from the love topic.
This needs to remain our secret. The only person who can know that this isn't a real love marriage is my butler, Alfred. He shall be a shield for you in dangerous times,
said Edgar.
Sounds good.
Alessandra saw no issue in that.
I must ask that I am able to keep my mask on until I feel comfortable walking around without it on.
That is your business. Do whatever you wish. I must insist that we sleep in the same room. Why are you looking so surprised? Did you honestly think I wouldn't sleep with my wife?
Edgar tilted his head slightly as he awaited her answer. Alessandra thought they wouldn't share the same, but as he said, she would be his wife even though a contract was involved.
I suppose that makes sense. It is something couples do, after all.
Just talking about this made Alessandra blush. No matter how hard she tried, she couldn't stop it from happening.
Everyone does it, young or old,
Edgar said while grabbing the pen from Alessandra. Their hands and shoulders touched, causing a strange sensation from Alessandra.
Young? How young?
Alessandra asked after clearing her throat. Edgar only now realized she had misunderstood what he meant.
Alessandra, I was referring to just... However, if you wish for something more...
Alessandra was now red as a tomato.
No, is just fine.
Alessandra looked back down at the paper, feeling completely embarrassed for thinking he meant something else.
Is there anything else?
No, we've covered the basics. Anything else should be handled with communication in the future. You do not appear to be a difficult person who shall make things hard in the future. We can add on whatever we think of as time goes on. Sign it.
Edgar reminded her.
Don't you wish to add a punishment for anyone who breaks the contract?
Alessandra thought he would fine her or imprison her if she were to break this contract.
We have not set a timeline of how long we shall be married either.
The main thing on the contract is that it remains a secret between us. If you let it be known that we are married under this circumstance, it will hurt you more than I. I shall remain a duke while others will go out of their way to humiliate you for needing a contract. I am sure you do not want that.
Alessandra shook her head, saying no.
Lastly, we shall be married forever. I thought that was obvious.
Edgar revealed to Alessandra's surprise.
Be sure to add that to the contract now, as it is important.
Forever?
Alessandra muttered in disbelief. Forever was a long time. Was she wrong to believe he would only want to do this for maybe a year or two?
Yes, forever. Do you plan to break your wedding vows? Till death do us part.
Edgar grinned, enjoying the look of horror on her face. He only planned to get married once, which is why it had to be with someone he could tolerate.
But at some point, you will need an heir.
Did he expect that to happen with her?
Of course. My wife shall be the mother of my child, but no need to worry. I am not in the mood to have a child running around my home anytime soon.
Honestly, Edgar had a dislike for children.
You wouldn't mind me having your child.
Alessandra didn't know how she fell into this hole of confusion, but she would really enjoy Edgar's help to pull her out of it quickly.
You're starting to annoy me by not understanding what is simple, Alessandra, but I guess it would be a shock for you.
Edgar paused, then continued.
I wouldn't mind you having my child one day, Alessandra. If I did mind, we wouldn't be here discussing marriage. If this is too much for you, we can still ignore all of this.
I'm worried what a child of mine would have to go through in this world. Others might attach the rumors about me to the child.
Alessandra pictured it in her mind. She wouldn't want anyone to experience being outcasted.
Alessandra, you have no idea the weight my last name carries. Once you become my wife, those rumors would fade away, and no one shall dare talk about you or our child in the future.
Edgar had his ways of making people shut up.
See, if you rip out their tongue, you would find it hard to understand the word they say. Eventually, they would shut up.
Alessandra did not need to ask Edgar how he could guarantee that would happen. There was obviously some truth to how dangerous he was. She had a feeling he was being considerably nice to her right now with the way he spoke.
We can carry on with the contract, Duke Edgar.
She started to sign her name. Giving him an heir would not be a problem if he could shield the child. Alessandra hesitated.
Duke Edgar, I have already been signed away to a monster once before.
He will not harm you.
Edgar interrupted.
But what about you? Before I sign, I need you to tell me what happened with your wife. The one you are rumored to have murdered.
The Duke's eyes widened. He seemed thrown off by Alessandra's question. He pounded the table violently.
We haven't even married yet, and you're demanding things?
Alessandra recoiled. Was this a mistake? Before she could respond, she heard the sound of a carriage outside the castle. Edgar moved to the window. Suddenly, his face turned white at what he saw.
They are here.
Who is it? Who is outside?
Come with me, now.
Where are you taking me?
The basement.
Come on out, Alessandra. I've brought surprises!
What will happen to Alessandra now? Before William could enter, the door opened, and the Duke came out. Will the Duke send Alessandra with wretched William? Or with her evil family, who have always hated her? Or will he fight them out and save her as she wants him to? What exactly is the Duke planning to do with Alessandra?
To find out what happens next, listen to the audio series, The Duke's Masked Bride, only on the Pocket FM app. Install the Pocket FM app within the next 30 seconds to download 27 free episodes before this offer disappears.
Pocket FM.
To unlock all the episodes, click the link in bio.